Hey guys, Second here bringing you a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be taking a look at the AGL LR Super Baby 2, who has the temporary buff alongside the 4-year LR Super Saiyan 4s for the rest of the celebration. I don't know what Omega's leader skill is going to be. Hopefully he'll be on Omega's lead in some way, shape or form. Of course, Omega could end up having GT bosses as part of his lead, which of course would include this guy. He could have transformation boost. Omega is on Inhuman Deeds and Battle of Fate, so there's a couple of categories that Omega could have for this guy to make it onto his team. Same with Gogeta really, because of course this guy's on Giant 8 power on things like Battle of Fate, Final Trump card, so I guess we'll see. But we're starting off at 1.2 million defense here, start of turn. That's pretty good. Bear in mind again, these units, they don't show the buff in game. So this guy gets 6 ki and attack and defense 150. When there's a pure Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan enemy, he gets an extra 6 ki, 100% attack and defense, and a 40% chance to crit. If HP is 40% or more when attacking with 12 ki or more, he gets an extra 100% attack and defense and an extra 40% chance to crit. If HP is 40% or less when attacking, he gets an extra 150% defense and a high chance to dodge. So this is good because it activates during the turn. So if he was in slot 3 and you take like a big hit in the middle of the turn and drop below 40%, then when he attacks, he gets extra defense and gains the dodge chance, which can obviously be helpful. And then the first time you go into a turn and you're at HP 40% or less, he transforms into the Golden Ozaru. And so then the temporary buff for this guy is similarly to the Super Saiyan 4s. It's nowhere near as high, I don't think, yeah, because they're getting like 1200% attack, and this guy is getting 400% attack and 900% defense. But of course his EZA is a lot newer than theirs, so like they need a lot more stats than him, I guess. So yeah, 900% extra defense, which is why he's starting off at 1.2 million here on the turn. And then he is greatly raising with his 18 ki super, both attack and defense, and then greatly raises defense on his 12 ki. He does also get guaranteed crits with the temporary buff, so it kind of makes the crit chance here in his passive kind of irrelevant. But that's good for this part as well. If you're on the low HP and you're getting the defense and the dodge, without the temporary buff, he wouldn't be getting this extra crit chance, whereas now he's just getting guaranteed crits all the time anyway. So we're trying him out on the Frieza and Goku Battle of Fate team, because I didn't want to do 2 videos with the Goku, like, Giant 8 power team, which is a little bit more awkward for him. There are going to be some units floating around that are going to be able to give him big bad bosses and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and do this. Not get the 18 ki super or anything crazy for Rose, so that he can have this chance to shine here in the middle. Also, you got to remember that Frieza is giving Battle of Fate characters an extra 77% attack and defense on the first 2 turns. So obviously Baby is getting that as well. But yeah, he's only really got 2 links active here: Legendary Power, Big Bad Bosses. But we'll see how we go. Obviously, Rose not going to be going absolutely crazy here. It's my 55% one. He's only got Big Bad Bosses active. But yeah, 39 million for Baby here is pretty good. Bearing in mind that we're going to get a guaranteed crit as well. And nice, we just get a dodge, okay. And then Frieza with the 12 million at the end. Full extreme rotation, so gets the extra attacks off here as well. But yeah, Baby, I think, is in a similar boat to the Super Saiyan 4s that we've already looked at, where the temporary buff is pretty good. Like, he's going to be able to hit solid damage, have relatively good, like, raw defense. But just like them, he doesn't have damage reduction or guard. He's only really got that extra bit of defensive tech if you are at 40% or less HP, because then he gets the 50% chance to dodge. But obviously against any tough bosses, if he fails to get that dodge, then of course you are going to be in a situation where he's going to be taking some big damage. Frieza doesn't have big bad bosses. I kind of want to float these guys around in such a way that we can get big bad bosses active for Baby as much as possible with the other units. I mean, Rose's in slot 1, so I suppose that doesn't matter too much for the start. But obviously this team is not a perfect setup for these characters. Baby, I mean, that's the thing with the release of Omega, right? Baby isn't going to have the craziest team. Giant 8 power is getting all these buffs, and of course the 4-year LR Super Saiyan 4s are probably going to be better on Gogeta's team. But yeah, Baby is probably going to be his main place to thrive. Really, is going to be on Omega's team, potentially even Gogeta's team, depending on what it is. But when we look at his characters that give him the leads, in terms of like a 220 lead, it is only the Frieza for Battle of Fate and then the Goku for Giant 8 Power, I believe. Yeah, so he has got a couple of other like 200% leaders, but in terms of 220, it's Battle of Fate or Giant 8 Power, which is fine. So yeah, in this setup we have just Big Bad Bosses and Legendary Power. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm not going to worry about giving Rose tons of orbs because we want to be able to see Baby do his thing. But yeah, 1.2 million. He's getting the Greatly Raise on Super. Obviously, when attacking, he's getting this buff, right? So this is the big thing we got to remember. If we're at 40% or more HP, it's a 100% buff. So as soon as he attacks, he's already at 2.4 million and then has the Greatly Raise as well. So like he's easily getting to like 3 million when he supers. But again, like any bosses hitting harder than 3 million, they're going to do damage to him. The hardest hitting bosses in the game are going to kill him. He has that little bit of a safety net with the dodge, but you only get that at the 40% or less HP. So obviously being on Giant 8 Power as well, he's another unit that kind of benefits from being run with the AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku around, giving him the extra defense and damage reduction. So, I mean, this guy could kind of end up being, at least for the duration of this celebration, although he won't get Big Bad Bosses, 22 million on the additional as well is pretty good. He won't get Big Bad Bosses, but like he could be run on a Giant 8 Power team and have that Super Saiyan 4 Goku there to give him the support. That could end up being pretty good. So yeah, I think he's certainly decent. The Giant 8 transformation itself, obviously, very helpful if we get to the 40%. Because remember, that's at the start of turn, whereas if he's at 40% when he attacks, that obviously can activate mid-turn. So it can kind of go both ways. Like if you're on below 40% HP, you start the turn, get the Giant 8 transformation, and then by the time you've picked up the orbs for everybody and he again gets to attack on that turn, you might have gone above 40% HP again, so then he gets the attack and defense and then the crit chance, which of course at the moment is essentially pointless because he's going to crit all the time anyway. Oh nice, yeah, now that we've got an enemy whose name includes Goku, we're getting the intro for the Great 8 Vegeta. That's pretty funny. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. In fact, let's get the... I should turn the animations off really, but I haven't watched this for ages, so I forget the... I pressed the wrong thing anyway. I didn't even mean to use the active skill. I meant to just exchange them, but it is what it is. Good opportunity to use it, I guess, against a tech enemy. I haven't watched it for quite some time. Pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, switch over to Goku. Or maybe I should just have this one as Goku and save his active skill. Keep him on this rotation. Does he share some extra links with Vegeta? Do they have any like Saiyan lineage things or anything? No, not really. Well, okay then. So we'll go ahead and do this, and then I know Goku wants Rainbow Orbs, so there we go. That lines up perfectly. And then Frieza still gets his buff, because even when you're exchanged into Goku, obviously the unit is still extreme. So Frieza's got his extra buff here at the end of the turn, the extra attacks. Vegeta should tank this relatively well in slot 1 here. I'm not sure how hard these guys hit for. Damn, 500k though. Oof. Okay then. 20 mil. I mean, post-super he shouldn't take any damage, but yeesh. Actually, does that drop us to... Are we at 40% or less? Because if we are... Great Ape Ozaru next turn. The Ozaru gets a buff as well. 500% attack and guaranteed crits. Obviously, there's no point giving the Ape a defense buff because the Ape doesn't have defense and can't take damage anyway. But yeah, an extra 500% attack and guaranteed crits. Pretty good for a free turn of damage. We are at 35% HP. So yeah, we should be golden Grey Ape baby-ing on the next turn. Frieza is going to not quite kill here, I think. Yeah. And then he's still going though. Ooh, that was close. If that had been a super. Alright, so we're going to get the transformation. It's the old Blutzwave generator. Golden Great Ape baby. Because yeah, the Great Ape baby does actually have... Does he have... Is it extra key he gets? Or what does he get for his passive? 2 extra key per key sphere and obviously high chance to crit, but that's guaranteed at the moment anyway. His super attack is massively raised attack temporarily and does destructive damage. He's only going to get a chance to attack once because then they're going to be dead. So, but yeah, this is one thing that like Great Apes and like Rage modes should always have, in my opinion. Like extra key in their passive is helpful as well, but then like the extra key per orb obtained, because then you know you're not going to take damage. How much is this going to do? A normal from them to a type disadvantage with no like 0 defense was 2.2 million. This would have been 6.4 million if the ape could take damage. I mean, 26 mil, bearing in mind it's guaranteed crit, and it's on a turn where you can get 3 of those and not take any damage, I'd say is pretty good. The only annoying thing is don't we go on to the other rotation now because we ended the phase. And we still want to see more. Well, actually no, because Rose was on the rotation, right? And this is the exchange animation, so we should still be on the baby turn. Is it just me? Did that used to be a thing? Like if you won the phase with like a Great Ape transformation, it would go on to like a different character? I don't remember now. Alright, so we gotta remember baby does lower attack on his supers, because this Vegito Blue can be a little bit annoying. Lowers attack and defense, and he lowers attack with both of his supers. So let's go ahead and... I mean, if we do the active skill with Rose, it just buffs super bosses, which isn't really all that great for the team. Whereas doing the Zamasu active skill is going to give us a big heal here. And then also, permanent 40% extra attack. So let's go ahead and do the old Fusion Zamasu active skill here. It is so funny that the part 1 units are like fusion active skill attacks, and then part 2 is just straight up standalone Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I mean, like, I didn't mind that they weren't proper fusions in part 1, but like, I've done videos on it already, so has everybody else. Like, everyone's going crazy for Gogeta. Like, the hype in the community at the moment for Gogeta is insane. Like, it's crazy how excited people are for him. I mean, the card looks fantastic, obviously. The animations that we've seen so far all look really good. Yeah, very, very excited for him to be in the game. But yeah, big load of orbs for Cell, who's then also going to heal on Super. So this should be a pretty good rotation. My 55% Rose, bearing in mind, again, he's only got Big Bad Bosses and Legendary Power on this turn. Still hitting relatively hard, and if we get the additional, we get the attack lower. Perfect. 23.7 is pretty good. And then Baby's going to attack lower as well. 37 million. Pretty good. Get that attack lower in there. And remember, he's getting, because at the time of attack we were at 100% extra defense. He's got like somewhere between like 2.5 and 2.7 million defense, I think, here. And type advantage. This Vegito can hit relatively hard though, but we've attack lowered him a couple of times, so we take double-digit damage. That's what we like to see. And then Cell obviously heals with his super attacks. Still going to drop back down to 99% because, of course, Cell will take only double digits, but will take double-digit damage from the Vegito normals at the end. He could super again, but Cell post-supering, especially against a superclass character, is pretty strong defensively. So, yeah, he should be fine here, right? Yeah, Baby tanking for double-digit damage. We'd love to see that. Cell doing the same. Perfect. Yeah, the Battle of Fate team can certainly be interesting depending on the build. Like, this full extreme build of the team is pretty good. Now, do I risk... If I switch to Frieza, Frieza does lower attack, but then if he gets supered, he probably gets killed. Whereas if I just use the Goku, then I think we're probably fine. Yeah, probably just stay as the Goku just to be safe. And then we'll get the orbs for Zamasu. There we go. So yeah, big extra defense buff for Vegeta. No super pre-Vegeta's attack, so once Vegeta has got his attack off, then we should be good. I don't think anyone else on this rotation lower. Does Zamasu lower attack? I can't remember. I don't think Goku does. I know Frieza does, but yeah, obviously Goku not doing crazy damage, not the ideal setup, but he's just there. They're there to be the leader of the team, right? So he's strong defensively, and that's what we want. Zamasu at 22 million, considering he literally only has legendary power and like fierce battle active at this point. He does lower attack. If his 12 keys lower attack as well, then that's he's going to be in a good spot here. Yeah, nice. So massive attack lowering on Vegito Blue. Of course, for Zamasu, when it comes to tanking supers, he ideally wants to take a normal or two first. But yeah, so he took one. So he's got that. He's got what, 40% damage reduction now, or 50? Because I think when he takes the first hit, he gets the 10. Then when he takes the second hit, he gets the extra 10. So yeah, double-digit damage. Love to see that. All right, so do I take the risk here? Might as well. If we die, we die, and we've seen a good bit of action here from Baby. Because Vegito could just super straight away. As long as he doesn't, Baby tanks like normals for double digits, obviously. Especially with all the attack lowering that we've done. But nice. Yeah, and 35 mil. So yeah, I think he's looking pretty good. If depending what Omega's team is going to be, whether Omega's team is the new team, I don't think it's not going to be like a single category anyway, right? Like the Blues, he's going to have at least 2 170s and then the 2 +50s. But whatever Omega's team ends up looking like, I feel like Baby could get a spot on that team. Even if he's just a floating third slot unit, there will be some of those occasions where he's going to come on rotation when you've dropped to 40% or less HP the turn before, and then that's going to give you that opportunity to go crazy with the ape transformation and not have to worry about taking any damage that turn. So yeah, I think that's going to be pretty good. Loads of orbs here for Cell. Dokkan attack for Vegeta. Interesting. Time to get serious. Yeah, the super class version of the boss rush is definitely tougher than the extreme one, I think, in terms of just how hard this Trunks at the end can actually hit for. But I think we should be good here. Vegeta being the only one to take attacks here, and then getting his super off first. He should be able to tank a super from Trunks relatively well. But yeah, we get the Dokkan attack. Not crazy damage, but obviously post-super we tank the normals for double-digit damage. How much is this going to do? Because Vegeta's still kind of like one of the big tanks for the teams that he's on. Yeah, double digits. That's what we like to see. And then, of course, Goku not going too crazy here, but here's what it is. Dude. Alright, yeah, nice crit. Cell at 25 mil. That's the problem with this build, is a lot of these characters, when they're floating and they're going on to the other rotation like this, obviously aren't getting Big Bad Bosses active very much. But like I say, we're keeping Baby on rotation because it's a video to showcase him. But like realistically, we would do something like, if we were just running this like just to win with this team, like we would obviously do like probably something like this. Or this. I don't know if it really matters who he's next to, because he doesn't get any extra links from either of them. Could use Zamasu's active skill here as well, why not? Do some extra damage. But yeah, I guess I'll put Baby in slot 1 and then have Rose and then Zamasu. But yeah, if we were playing just to like win and Baby was just on the team, then we probably would just be floating him. Floating him and both the Freezers, I guess, or Freezer or Goku, depending on which version we wanted them to be in. Because then he's like, Baby's always going to float in and have Big Bad Bosses with somebody. So I think that would work out quite well for him. But yeah, he seems pretty good. He's in the same boat as the Super Saiyan 4s with their temporary buff. And to be fair, Int Rose and Tech Vegito were kind of exactly the same. Where they're putting out big numbers now. They've got big numbers for like raw defense. But the hardest hitting bosses in the game are going to kill them like with their super attacks. It just is what it is. But like other than that, they're pretty good tanking normals from these relatively difficult events for double digits, which is what we like to see. So yeah, I would say all in all, pretty good job for the temporary buffs here. God, this next turn is going to be rough. I might just end the video here anyway, because the next turn we're going to have physical Sword of Hope Trunks, and then we've got the Imp Goku and the Frieza, like, on the same turn. Could be pretty awkward for this rotation. We've seen what Baby can do. We already know, like, this Trunks hits insanely hard. It's like 7.3 million, I think, with his super when he becomes the physical Sword of Hope Trunks. So, you know, we don't need to see. Like, we know that if Baby gets hit by that kind of super, like, he is absolutely just mincemeat. But, you know. In fact, Zamasu not getting hit at all first here. Yeah. Well, there you go. That was the last turn. But it wasn't Baby that let us down. So, yeah, Baby, pretty good with the temporary buff. Nothing crazy, but certainly fun. Let me know what you guys think of him down below in the comment section. What do you think Omega's leader skill is going to be? Do you think Baby will be on it and get the full 220? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.